Project number 1. I feel like this project went well, but I'm not going to lie, it was a bit difficult for me. It was hard for me to think of something to write about, and with the topic I chose, it was hard to not get too personal. Also, I didn't really like how I couldn't speak in first person. I think since it was something I went through myself, it would have been easier to tell from my perspective rather than showing how a character felt going through it. If I could change something about this project, I would try to make it more clear that the character was me. I got responses from a few people asking if the character was me, so I would just try to make it more clear. But altogether, I think this project was kind of helpful. It helped me practice writing from a different perspective. I have not really forgotten about it. It just made me practice something that I'm not particularly good at. I think among all the other projects, I would rank this one of the worst, just because I did not like how I could not explain it from my perspective, but overall, I think it helped me grow as a writer. Project number 2. I think this project went pretty well. This project helped me think of an object differently than I had ever thought about it before. I liked the object I picked, which was the picture frame, and I think it wasn't too hard to find the cultural significance of it. If I could change something about this project, I would definitely change the time I spent working on it. I probably could have spent some more time on it and made it a bit better than it was. This was the lowest grade I received, and I think the short amount of time I spent on it reflects by the grade I got. I also might actually change the object to be a picture itself rather than a picture frame. I think if I talked about pictures, it would have opened up more room to talk about cultural significance a bit more. But I do think this project was better than number 1 because I liked writing about an actual object. It is easier for me to analyze something and talk about it rather than coming up with a story. Project number 3. For this project, I chose to remix project number 2. I really enjoyed this project. I liked how it was an alternative to writing a paper, and I really liked the way I did the project. I don't think I would have done it any other way. The collection of photos I put into a video really got my point across about just how important picture frames are. Although, if I could revise it at all, I would add a few more examples or maybe re-record some of the things I said in the background. I think a few things that frustrated me most about this project is having to figure out how to make the video on my laptop because I had never made one before. Also, I think it frustrated me that I had to post it on YouTube because I had never done that before either, and it was confusing at first. But by doing this project, I learned how to do those two things, which is very helpful in the future because I can obviously use those. And I think compared to the other projects, this project was one of the better ones because it was just really interactive and it was nice to be able to make a media project instead of writing a paper. Project number 4. Although this project was a ton of work, I felt really great about it and it was definitely my favorite project out of them all. I put in a ton of effort and time and I was really happy and proud of the end result. If I could change something about this project, I would have reflected a little bit more on the project as a whole. I spent a ton of time analyzing the articles and talking about the interviews. Maybe I could cut out some of the information about the articles and talk more about the project as a whole. I think what was most challenging about this project was finding the articles and analyzing them. At first, I had no idea what each kind of article was, and I had to do a lot of searching to find them. If I could approach this project differently, I would have used the MSU Library website or a database to help me find these articles instead of finding them on my own. It probably would have saved me a lot of time. From this project, I learned that I spend a lot of time searching and analyzing for the perfect kinds of articles and things to put in an essay like this. I also learned that when I put a lot of hard work into an assignment like this, it really pays off and feels good in the end. Also, from this project, I learned how to use important resources like LinkedIn, how to conduct a professional interview, and find trade and scholarly articles, and I also learned a ton about my future career. I think this project was just very informative, and that's why it's my favorite project out of them all. Looking back at all the projects as a whole, I think each and every one of them helped me learn something different, and overall, this class just helped me grow as a writer, and I'm really glad that I took it.